I wanna quit my job and just sail on. Fresh trim sails and gleaming teak.
Good morning, Letitia.
Well, it is morning.
Did you notice the formal start?
Oh, g'day, Tish.
It wasn't morning Tish, it was Letitia.
Why is it formal today?
Well, we're going to discuss the past again.
Yeah, we've got to go back in time. 1 week and 4 days back in time.
So we're going to have a bit of a discussion. This is what sailors always do, is they talk about their past glories on the sea. So that's what this is like.
Okay.
We're going to discuss our 4-day passage. Well, technically, it's three days.
3 days and
20 hours or something. Passage on the sea. So, Tish, how was it?
well, the majority of it was pretty good.
There you go. You heard it here first. Sailing at sea is great.
The other part,
Some of the crew didn't enjoy the short following sea where Flapdoodle does quite a waddle and a bit of a tank slapper at times.
it looked like we were in a washing machine.
Only some of the time.
And in reality, it was only a small part of the time, but it's still stamped in my memory. But it will fade.
Yeah. So we basically
Travelled a lot of miles
and we averaged, I think it was 4.9 knots, which for Flapdoodle with a little over half, I think we ended up doing 5/9 of the 440 odd miles under sail, and the rest, well, dinosaur juice. Not much we could do about it.
had to be done.
So anyway, the video will lay it out in all its glory.
See what it's like to be on the seas.
With
Well and
us.
truly.
With us. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Onwards.
Onwards and upwards.
So there's a few things that make for a good passage. A clean bottom is always nice, and a clean propeller. I've already cleaned the propeller, as you can see here, but something we have to do from time to time is grease the propeller. So you're meant to haul the boat out every so often and grease the propeller, but we just do it underwater because we try really hard not to waste the money hauling the boat out just to grease the propeller. I thought just for a minute we might be in the Marquesas accidentally. Pretty high island, very mountainous, rises up at steep cliffs, wreathed with cloud. Yeah, I don't think we did it. Sun going down on our first day at sea on this passage, crossing over to Banderas Bay from Agua Verde. So I guess we've knocked off about 30 miles this afternoon. Still, Frodo's with us, still gamely fishing. I guess he'll stay in the water for another half hour or so. San Jose Island in the background. I retired my rod here earlier today when he caught a little bonito.
The winds are starting to die, so we're trying to take out the reef in the mainsail just to see if we can catch a little bit more wind and keep sailing for a little bit longer.
In this sailing world, this is what we do these days when we're offshore 100 miles or so. We just keep on using our phones.
Deleting photos.
Ah, she's actually not online with Musk because I just turned him off. He's actually deleting photos. That's a bit of a concept for Letitia. Anyway, here we are, 100 miles offshore. Or so.
I guess the booby bird needed a rest. I see some birds circling the boat, some friends of his, and they're vying to want to be on the front as well, but he does not want to move. Guess you just need a rest when you've been out here a long time.
So here we are, just about at the end of the first 24 hours. We've done about 115 miles, nautical miles in that 24 hours. Wouldn't be a lot by some people's standards. But for Flapdoodle, that's flying. Almost average speed of 5 knots. So all in all, first 24 hours, pretty nice. We might start the barbecue and cook a fish. My good friend Peter warned me about these dripless seals. He said they were boat sinkers. Well, I guess he could be right. So this rubber bit on the early ones used to be a bit of a problem. They seem to have fixed that. But here, in a rolly situation like we've got at the moment, as the motor moves an imperceptible amount on a heavy roll, we get a bit of a spray come out of it. We're alerted because the bilge pump alarm was going off. There you go. I guess we got that one. Well, this will be the second sunset on this passage, and to be honest, we're probably glad to see the end of this day. It's been very, very rock and roll out here in the middle of the Sea Cortez. I would say the biggest waves probably got up to 1.5 meters, 1.75 meters, and seemed like they were about a second apart, but in reality probably 3 or 4 seconds apart. Pretty steep. I'm glad they were behind us and we weren't going into them.
Morning, honey.
I thought I'm supposed to say morning Tish.
I beat you this time.
Ah, okay, well done. The sun is up and it is in fact just gone dawn for a change.
Yeah, that is a change.
So
What's happening?
we're headed south. Well, We've been headed south for a while. This sailing's slow business, you know. I don't know if you knew that, but it is. But we're doing 4 knots, so we should be pretty happy, right?
It's better than 0.
Well, yes, quicker than sitting on the couch, I suppose. Unless the couch is on board.
Yeah, we brought our couch with us.
That was smart. Now we can sit on the couch and still do 4 knots.
Oh dear. Well, I guess we're in for another day on the seas.
Yeah, we are. Only 2 more to go. We're this close to halfway.
Celebration time.
There.
Let's have breakfast.
Oh, that'll be a celebration indeed. Okay.
You look just like my dad.
Breakfast is served.
Yeah, but the boat work goes on. What do I do if the boat needs something and I've got food in both hands? I better hurry. Starting to get that roll up again, Tish. Breakfast at 5:47 while driving Flapdoodle.
First mate at the helm. Today's Friday, and while Harry is sleeping down below, where it is much cooler than out here in the cockpit, I get to be the first mate and stand watch at the helm. We don't have an autopilot for when we are motoring. We hand steer, but as you can see at the moment, there's actually no one touching the helm. If it was rougher weather, it would be harder work, holding the helm a lot more closely. Here we are, the little black boat is us, and we are heading, the red line is where we've been, and this black line is where we're going. My job is to try and stay on course so that we end up in Bandras Bay, not Timbuktu. Anyway, that's what I'm doing at the moment. We're motoring along at about 5 knots. The wind at present is about 10 knots, and we're waiting for it to hit constantly about 12 knots or more, and then we'll be able to put our sails up and use our friend the wind vane again to help with helming.
It's pretty tough out here in the middle of the ocean. It's there's nobody else around. Seas are not too bad, and lunch has just been served. So, as you know, sailors don't eat very well. It's usually, I don't know, bully beef or something like that. Something you probably wouldn't want to eat. So what did I get? I got this restaurant meal. I think it was DoorDash, one of those just delivered. Maybe Uber Eats, I don't know. And it's fresh caught fish. And a salsa salad. Looks pretty good for a poor old sailor out on the ocean.
Yes. What just happened, Harry?
Well, caught a yellowfin tuna. It doesn't weigh much. 4 kilograms. We weren't finished. Well, they weren't finished. I had 2 lines out that weighed. Is that 5 kilograms?
5 kilograms.
5 kilograms. Maybe 5.5. If we'd had 12 lines out, we would have caught 12, because these yellowfin, they hunt in packs and they take whatever there is. Frodo won the day. Sunrise on the last morning of the passage. We're just entering Banderas Bay, just coming past Punamita, and I guess I timed the tide wrong. It's given us a flogging. Current through the gap here is pretty strong. Looks like it's in the vicinity of 2 knots. When you only do 5 or 6, giving 2 away is pretty tough. Got about 10 miles to go till we drop the hook.
Okay.
I guess we know we're back in Banderas Bay. The afternoon battle with the sea breeze. It's doing 20 knots today or a bit more. Giving the old snubber a bit of a stretch on the chain there. Of course it's tangled a little bit.